Hi, Nancy Burt-Preece here, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Here's all my contact information. Today, this is November 24th, and I am going to show you what I consider a simple stamping card, and I'm going to make it with you. I'm not doing it ahead. I'm moving this way up so I can, hopefully you can see it all. I'm just looking at my... There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a full 8.5 by 11 piece of very vanilla. We're going to stamp it all at the same time. So kind of interesting. It's a different way to do it. We're basically going to make a big cross, and we're going to stamp all in the middle and cut it in 4 so that we can have 4 cards at one time. I have our base, which is Cajun Craze 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 5.5. So let's try it. I have not done it yet. I'm doing this on purpose with you. I just came back from a Stampin' Up! Backstage event for leaders, and one of the leaders who I really like suggested trying this. You know, not every card, and have a good sense on what you're doing. I saw something similar by Sherry Roth from Stamped Treasures. I am not even measuring. I'm just going to kind of go in the middle. I'm starting with one of the leaves. Oh, I forgot to tell you what I'm using. Choose Happy and Gathering Moments. So I am starting with a leaf, and I'm kind of getting some things. I've got lots of different colors here. What am I using? Cajun Craze. I'm using Cherry Cobbler. I'm using Pecan Pie. I'm using Crumb Cake, which I forgot to get my Crumb Cake out. Let me see if I get that out right here. And what else? Mossy Meadow and Early Espresso. So I'm going to start with a couple of leaves, and I'm kind of just going back and forth across the middle. It's not incredible. It's what it is. The trickiest part is keeping the leaf in the right area. That is hard. Kind of going to be where the middle is. And I might use a Mossy Meadow. Once again, I'm creating with you. So if it doesn't turn out, well, you got a sense on how to do it. I'm going to put that there. Oops, I was using Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. They look pretty similar, don't they? That's a little darker, but not a lot. What am I going to do? I think I'm going to add a little bit, because that's a lot of green in there. So I'm going to add some acorns in Pecan Pie. So hopefully that'll add. And I'm just having to open everything up, aren't I? I am opening up Cherry Cobbler. And this one is kind of neat because it's like a little berry. I'm going to put that little berry right there. Oops, I got the wrong Cherry Cobbler. I had one that I needed to re-ink. So let me get the correct Cherry Cobbler that I already re-inked, if I can find it. Well, I just came home from a stamp class, and I used Cherry Cobbler several times, so it's got to be in here someplace. Let me see if I can find it quick. It's going to be in the last bin I opened. There it is. Okay. So that one's okay, but I might go over it a little bit. See if I can do that without dipping my hand. It's a little bit. It's going to be okay in the whole scheme of things. So I'm looking at everything I've used. I'm going to keep coming back to my leaves. Now I'm going to add maybe, like I say, this isn't an exact science. And I'm making sure I lost the leaf here. Oh, here it is. Golly gee. Maybe I'll go this way with the leaf. And it's totally okay to go on top of each other. It's totally okay to do that. You want to add different colors to just make it look interesting. The tricky part is you have to look at what colors you're using so that you don't get them all looking the same. And there are, there are different color variations. So right now it's looking like all green and all of this, but really if you look close, there are differences. So I'm putting that there. I'm going to put this one here. Yeah, you can see now. Can you see that green is different? I'm trying to do all fall, which is kind of cool. And this one is in the lighter green, I think. I've got stuff all over the place. Who knows what color they are in now? And that's okay. I'll put that there, another green. I'll put that there, another green. I think this is the Cajun Craze. There is no rhyme or reason to this. You're just kind of making colors. I like it because it's almost a no-brainer. And like, look over here, I stamped that. It's really going to be okay in the final project. I'm just putting all sorts of things on there. Make it look very fall-like. So far I'm liking it, but I want to make it wider a little bit. So I'm going to add in some mushrooms too, which are in crumb cake. I'm going to add in a mushroom here or there. Could I make them in a different color? Really, there is no rhyme or reason. And if you're a really leaf enthusiast, some of my leaves are probably not the right color for the tree, and I'm okay with that. And I'll put another one here. Okay. Let's see, what else do I think I need? That's going to be nice, because when you cut it, you want to make sure you're going to have enough other leaves on there. Let me get a couple of bigger greens. Like here and here. And another cherry here. Like I say, this isn't exact science. And if you were doing it, you might do it totally different. I'm just playing with you. I don't always do that, and it's kind of fun. I don't have it made ahead of time. I am doing it with you. All right. Is there anything? Maybe another. Well, this one's looking nice. This one's looking pretty good. This one's got a lot of, well, I'll put a leaf kind of out. I don't know if I like it, but we'll try it. And maybe I'll do a small leaf out here. And here and there. just making it however we want. Okay, so I'm going to close up some of these except for the Cajun Craze. So I have Old Olive. I just picked fall colors that I like. Cherry Cobbler, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, Crumb Cake, and, did I say Old Olive, Mossy Meadow? Now I'm going to put my finger in the ink, which is like we're having fun. We're having total fun. And I'm going to move that out, and I'm going to get out my Early Espresso, and I'm going to add just a little bit. I wanted this light, so I don't have a ink pad that's super, I'm going to do this again, super dark. Just adding a little bit of interest to it. Okay, put one there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the Mossy Meadow. I will leave the Cajun Craze for a minute. I'm going to get out my this is my Stampin' Up! Trimmer, which I love. And I'm going to cut it at, so if I cut it at 4 1/4, which is what I'm going to do, that's going to cut it in half. And I'll show you how I'm going to trim it in a minute. So I'm going to use the dark blade, which is the cutting blade. And this is at 4 1/4. In a minute, I'll show you what I'm going to do with these. Now I'm going to cut it right in the middle, make sure I have this correct. And I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2. So that makes it the entire card. But I don't want it the entire card. So I'm going to make sure these are both going the same way. And now I'm going to cut it at 4 because I want some of the vanilla part off. And I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4. I do the same thing, making sure they're both going the same way. I'm going to cut this at 4. And you have just a teeny tiny bit left. And I'm going to cut this at 5 1/4. I'm going to close this. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do. I'm going to make very simple. This is simple stamping. This is not difficult stamping. I don't want it to be. I want it to be simple stamping because sometimes, this time of year, you just need some simple cards. So this one is Expressing Heartfelt Gratitude. This is from Gathering Moments. This one says Many Thanks. We always need some thanks. This one, I'm going to move this over, says Happy Thanksgiving. How did I get Happy Thanksgiving? I used the happy and the Thanksgiving. I put them on the same block. Isn't that so easy? Oh my goodness, so very easy. And then this one, I am going to do Thankful for You. Actually, I'm not doing Thankful for You. Sorry about that. Don't you like when I change my mind? I need a Thinking of You card. And so I'm going to get out With You in Mind. This is a little bit bigger sentiment, but it'll still fit beautifully. And I'm going to put Thinking of You with this harvest. So you've got 4 different cards that you're using, and you made it so quickly. I love that part. All right, I'm moving this out so I don't get it all messed up. And I'm going to come back in, and if I was going to do the inside, I could do another one of these with the same colors and do it again. So easy. So I'm going to have this one open to the side. And I am quickly adding some adhesive. Isn't that easy? And how would I decorate it? I would come back, if it was me, I have some Cajun Craze Gold dots, and I would just put a big one to the top. I don't know why I do it this way. I've seen people do it, and I don't know why. And then just a couple here. And you are making 4 cards super quick. And they really pack a wow. So I hope you give this a try. Let me know what you think about this easy technique and how it's fun. It just leaves a little room for a sentiment, and you can just enjoy creating and just using your stamps and letting the stamps dance, which is so fun. Well, I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday. Have a great day. Thanks.